What is up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about how you can max your bear trap damage in Whiteout Survival. So without any further ado, let's get into the game and let me show you. So to begin here, let's start with one of the first things you will unlock in Whiteout Survival, and that is your heroes. When it comes to your heroes, in the early stages, you will have all of the basic ones. You will have any of the ones that say S5, S6, S4, S3, or S2. You will just have Sergey, Bahiti, Patrick, Jesse, Gina, and all the others that you will know when you're in that stage. So when it comes to bear trap damage, there's a few things we need to understand. I'm just going to show you my very top heroes here, which are from Season 5 and Season 6. So we've currently got Hector. Let's take a look at Hector as a whole. So if we click here, we can actually see our current stats for Hector. We can also see here what his max stats available would be if he was a full 5 stars. So we've got the max available: infantry attack 444% and infantry defense 444%. I have 2 more stars to go on him. So let's talk about how levels work here. We upgrade in increments of 6. So we upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that gives us a full star level. But for each individual level, we also gain something from those. So you can see here, if we upgrade to the next one here, we can gain 20%. Obviously, once we get it to the max, full 5 stars, we'll get up to that 444%. So that last little bit is actually worth it for your heroes. This is important when it comes to bear trap damage. I mean, of course, maxing out your heroes is important anyway in terms of combat. But when it comes to bear trap damage, the one thing that we should be focusing on is things that do damage. So to show you how this works, if we go over to Hector's skills, you can see that we've got Expedition and Exploration skills. Expedition is basically anything that you do on the world map. Exploration is things that you usually do inside of your city, but it's not limited to that. So Expedition here, this is the one we want to look at for the bear trap. You can see here for Hector's first skill, he does damage taken down, so he reduces damage when in an attack. This isn't really useful for the bear trap. I mean, we don't want to reduce our damage because the bear trap actually doesn't attack us. We only attack and do damage to the bear trap. So we can forget this one for now. The other skills we want to look at, and the main skills, is things like this. Skills that do damage up. Because if you do damage up against the bear trap, of course, you're going to do more damage. More importantly, if you can handle it, if you can put in more marksman or do some kind of marksman damage, you'll do even better. Because the way that Whiteout Survival works is it has 3 different troops. We've got infantry, lancer, and marksman. Infantry is a defense type troop, lancer is mixed, and marksman is an attack troop. So if we could put more damage into our marksman when we're attacking the bear trap, we're of course going to do more damage. But, and a big but, lancer should never be forgotten about, because it's good to have that extra boost for your lancers as well when you're fighting against the bear trap, because in the early stages of the game especially, you're not going to have many marksman troops, so you're going to have to still sort of mix your troops until you get to the later stages of the game, and you obviously have more troops, and then you can max out the amount of marksmen you put in your marches. Same again for Hector. He has another damage up skill that allows him to do damage against the bear trap. If we look at Gwen, she's got the same kind of thing here, except all of hers do damage. So we've got enemy damage taken up, 25%. We've got extra damage up, enemy damage taken up, and then we've got extra damage up again, allowing her to do more damage. We've got the same for Renee here, which is a Season 6 hero. So we've got extra damage up, we've got damage up, and then we've also got damage up. But here's a big thing. Here's a really big thing. In Whiteout Survival, you can see that there is different colours for your heroes. Now, I wonder what that means. What it essentially means is gold heroes are technically better. They're not always better for everything, but they technically are, especially for bear trap attacks. So let's go to a purple hero. If we go to the gear here, we've got our regular gear. But if we go to a gold hero, we go to the gear, you can see that there's this extra slot. This extra slot usually has a variety of different skills that get applied when in combat. So for Gwen, we can see if we click this, you get both exploration and expedition skills on these special skills. Specifically, for Gwen, on our expedition skill, this is all we want to look at for the bear trap, we have boosting rally troops lethality by 5%. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is lethality? Let me show you. So if we go to a march that I have made, let's go to one of my earlier marches. I must have sent one out earlier. I sent out quite a few. So we should have one against a polar terror. Let me click this here. So this is a march against a polar terror, and this will allow us to see what lethality is. If we go all the way down to the bottom here, we can see our stats. So what we've got in our stats for every single thing, infantry, lancer, and marksman, is we've got attack, defense, lethality, and health. Now, when attacking the bear trap, we don't care about defense or health because they're not going to do anything for us. The two things we care about is attack and lethality. More specifically, and mostly, marksman attack and lethality. Don't get me wrong, infantry lethality and lancer lethality is going to help, but you want to boost your marksman as much as you can, especially if you want to do more damage against the bear trap. But let's get into the specifics of how these work, because I've never actually seen any videos where this has been mentioned, but I've kind of figured it out over time, like how these essentially work. If I want to effectively do more damage against the bear trap, I need to increase my attack and lethality both kind of evenly. Right now, you can see that my marksman attack is 958.6%, but my lethality is 648.2%. That's about a 310% difference, which is massive. What this means is if I keep increasing my marksman attack, but I don't increase my marksman lethality at my current point, I won't do more damage against the bear trap. However, if I start to increase my lethality at the current point, and start to get a little bit more even to my attack, I'm going to effectively do more damage against the bear trap. So, wherever possible, it's very important to try and keep your lethality and attack stats in the same range. Attack is always going to be ahead of lethality anyway, but when you start to notice that disbalance happening, try and keep it up over time, and this will allow you to do more damage against the bear trap. Moving on, some other ways you can do damage against the bear trap is with gear. We have two types of gear in Whiteout Survival. We've got the Chief gear, so if we click our profile icon in the top left here, this brings us to Chief gear. This gets unlocked at level 22, and then your Chief charms down here, these little gems, get unlocked at level 25. So let's click any one of the Chief gears here, and I'll show you what these do. You can see on this Chief gear, we specifically have stats that we get from the gear. Lancer attack, Lancer defense. From our charms, we get Lancer lethality and Lancer health. So this allows us to get all four of the stats: attack, defense, lethality, and health. So if we respectively increase our gear and our Chief charms, we can get more stats to be able to, of course, do more damage against the bear trap. And the way that this gear works is top two are Lancer, so we've got Lancer there. Middle two are infantry, you can see infantry on these stats, and the bottom two are marksmen. So if you wanted to specifically focus on bear trap damage, do your marksman gear first, do your lancer second, and do your infantry last. But if you're trying to be a balanced account, try and keep these gears more balanced. That's pretty much a quick rundown of Chief gear. It's pretty simple. When you know what stats to go for, which is your attack and lethality, you know specifically what you need to increase. So of course, for bear trap damage, we're going to go with marksman first, lancer second, and infantry can be last because infantry is for defense. Furthermore, let's go back to our heroes down here. If we click any one of our heroes and go to gear, you can see we've got some gear. This gear allows us to stack up more stats for the damage that we do. So you can see on the gloves here, we get marksman health. This wouldn't be very useful against the bear trap, but if we click something like the boots, we actually get marksman lethality. This will help us in doing damage against the bear trap. Same for the helmet on the marksman. this adds marksman lethality. In the early stages of the game, you're only going to be able to increase your gear to gold. In the later stages, you should be able to unlock empowerment, which allows you to make your gear red like this. And then you can unlock extra specific stats. So for this headpiece on the marksman, we get 20% marksman attack. But something to note when you're empowering gear, if we click the boots and we go to ascend, you can see that the first stat we get is marksman defense. We would have to get it up to 60 to be able to gain more marksman attack. So when you're increasing in the empowerment stages, it's very important to gauge which gears to increase first. So for marksman, the best one to increase first would be your helmet, as this allows you to get marksman attack immediately from level 20. And all gear is the same in Whiteout Survival, so the head and boots do lethality. The belt and gloves are for health. This is the same across all heroes, even for infantry. So we've got infantry lethality, and then we've got infantry health. Same for Lancer. So then on the helmet, we've got Lancer lethality, and we get that Lancer attack first. And then we've got Lancer lethality again, and then we've got the health and health. So it's up to you to increase your gears respectively of what you want to do in the game. Of course, if we're looking at bear trap damage, the two things we want to look at for our heroes is Lancer lethality on these two pieces, and mainly and majorly marksman lethality on these two pieces. Another important thing when it comes to doing damage against the bear is what heroes you join a rally with. I'm going to show you here by setting a quick rally. So I'm going to go to the world map, and now we're going to set a rally against a polar terror. So with this rally set, if we click the rally here and we click actually into the rally, you can see under here there's this little gold button. If we click this, this allows us to see some very specific things. You can actually see your current stats under there, and that is a gaugement of your base stats. This is without any additional things. And then your additions come under here, so you can see all of your hero skills that are contributed to your rally. This is very important when you rally the bear. It's very important to use heroes that do only damage. So that's why we've got the heroes that were mentioned, such as Gwen, Renee, and Hector. Of course, if you're in different or earlier stages of the game, you can use different heroes. In a moment, I will show you what kind of heroes you can use. We'll see here in a second, well in 9 seconds, that when people join, something very specific is going to happen. So there's these rally member skills under here, and these will get filled when people join your rally. So you can see that they've been filled as people have joined the rally, and you can see that these have been contributed to our rally. This is very important against the bear because we don't want to use skills that don't contribute anything. And a way to explain how this works, if somebody joins, say for example with this hero, and it's in the left slot, that hero is going to contribute their skill to the rally. So if we join the rally with someone like Sergey, the first skill we're going to contribute to somebody's rally is damage taken down. That could be useful if you're fighting on the world map, but when you're fighting against the bear trap, that's not going to do anything. We don't want to reduce damage because the bear trap isn't going to fight back. What we want to do is apply damage. So to give you some heroes and example heroes that actually do this, we've got Jesse, we've got Sia Yoon, we've got Jassa. In the later stages of the game, we can unlock some more heroes. We've also got Geronimo, which you can actually pay for. This is a VIP hero. If you go up to your VIP, you can pay for him, you get his shards, you can unlock him. And I'll show you precisely why these heroes are important. On Jessie, her first skill does damage up max of 25%. If we join a person's rally with this hero in the left slot, we then apply that skill to their rally, allowing us to do more damage against the bear trap. Same for Sia Yoon. Her first skill, however, is attack up. To explain how these works, Sia Yoon's will do attack, but because Jessie's is specifically damage up, this will contribute what is called lethality. Same for Jassa here. Jassa also has a 25% damage up skill. Geronimo, his first skill does damage up of 25%. In the later stages, you will unlock some more heroes. Starting with S4, we've got Rihanna here. She does a max of 30% attack damage up. Moving on to someone like Lynn. Now, this is okay to use. Lynn will have a 40% chance of dealing a max of 50% damage in the rally. So Lynn is completely okay to use in the later stages if you join in rallies. You could also even join with Gwen, since Gwen's first skill is precisely enemy damage taken up, 25%. You could even join with Mia. Mia is an S3 hero. She does enemy damage taken up, 50% chance of 50%. And that's pretty much all the ways to increase your bear trap damage inside Whiteout Survival. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you have any thoughts or ideas on how to increase bear trap damage, don't forget to leave it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.